Hi there, people. Joseph here. Do you like mining, crafting, and building? Maybe a little bit of fighting. Maybe you enjoy exploring the unknown. Perhaps you like decorating your base. Or you enjoy raising animals and a bit of farming in between. Maybe you enjoy fishing. Maybe you want to cook your fresh produce for yourself. Hunting down bosses, perhaps? Well, if you enjoy any of these in a sandbox game, I got just the game for you. Welcome to Core Keeper. We dive in, create and name our character. We also need to pick a background for our character. These backgrounds are explorer, miner, fighter, chef, gardener, fisherman, ranger, mage, warlock, demolitionist, and nomad. Your background gives you a few starting bonuses like some starting items or extra skills, but doesn't affect the gameplay later on. You can still be a warlock if you wish, even if you pick the gardener background. Story. One day, while exploring the wilderness, we came across an ancient-looking structure. Our curiosity got a hold of us, and when we touch it, we find ourselves underground. We are not dead, but we need to survive. That's how the game begins. So, here we are. What do? We thrive in this environment. There is a big eye statue that we saw on the flashback in the middle, but it is dormant. It needs power. There are 3 statues connected to it, all shaped as one of the bosses we are going to face soon. These statues have an empty space for artifacts on them. We need to find these bosses, convince them to give up their artifacts, and put these artifacts on their places to activate the ice statue in the middle. This is going to be our early game goal. But how are we going to find these 3 bosses? Simple. We explore. We will run into 2 of them really quickly. We can also use the statues to help us find the other bosses. We need to mine to explore and collect resources. But mining with bare hands is hard, so we make a wooden pickaxe. Now we mine more efficiently. We mine around our base, gather resources, find food, grow food, make a crafting bench, and make better gear. Then, with our new equipment and resources, we explore more. Find better resources, make better gear, and explore even more. You get the idea. The world changes on each playthrough. First bosses will spawn near our base, so we will come across them while exploring, just like I did. I will tell the story as I experienced it. While exploring and looking for resources, I came across a waypoint. These are scattered around the map for fast travel purposes. Just right next to it, I came across the first boss, Glurch the Abominous Mess. It is a giant slime. Around him, the floor is covered in slime and slimy floor slows you down. Be careful about this fact because we need to kite the Glurch around. It has 2 phases. It goes to second phase when its health is low. He just jumps around quicker, nothing you can't handle. I chose to fight with it with the crossbow I found while exploring. You can of course choose to fight with it with a sword or any other weapon you looted or crafted. Choice is yours. Slimy floor made the fight a little tough for me, and just with 1 death, I managed to defeat it and looted all the drops, and I'm taking that chest. It also spit out an NPC when it died, an old miner. He's a trader. We can trade with him in exchange of ancient coins. He sells pouch workbench, useful way to craft special pouches to increase your inventory slots for certain items. Distillery table, useful for making slime out of the slime you can collect from the ground. Slime is really useful resource for crafting potions. He also sells ores, fiber, and eggs. Eggs are for pets you can raise. With Glurch defeated, we can continue exploring and gather resources. Also upgrade our gear with wood, copper, tin, and later on, iron. Second boss I came across was Gurm the Devourer. It is a giant larva making circles around the map. You can see its tracks while exploring. Gurm keeps going in circles and it is quite fast. You can recognize when he is near you from earthquakes and tremors. To get in combat, we need to damage Gurm enough to stop it and focus on us. After we done enough damage, Gurm will focus on us and the combat begins. Gurm doesn't really have much tricks for a boss. I was already decked up with my full body iron armor and my mighty halberd. He also has a second phase. Just attacks faster and moves faster. If you have enough potions on you, you don't even need to dodge the attacks honestly. Just chug potions as you need and spam attack. After his defeat, we loot everything and go back to base. I decided to put the artifacts to their respected statues at this point. I want to find the third boss and unlock the rest of the map. Other than exploring and gathering more resources or decorating our base, we can't really achieve more right now. Of course, you can still work on something you want to do. You set the pace of the game. While exploring through the edges of the map, you can see that we are surrounded with impenetrable walls. We have no way to go past these walls at this point, so we are going to hunt down Malygos the Corrupted, third boss we need to defeat. He doesn't spawn on the map like the previous two. He has a stronghold around 300 blocks range of our base. You might come across this structure, but I didn't. We can use Glurch's statue to locate Malygos' stronghold. After reaching his stronghold and loot everything in it, I found his throne room. To summon Malygos, we need to combine 3 crystal shards we found around with all those fighting we've been doing and receive a Malygos summoning idol. Malygos is the hardest out of the 3 bosses. He has fire attacks and he teleports around. He goes into second phase when his health reaches 0. He also sets the ground on fire. I highly recommend a ranged weapon for this fight. After his defeat, we loot everything and finally complete the statues in our base. Upon putting the boss artifacts to their respected statues, Keeper's statue in the middle comes alive. He gives us a little summary and tells us to go northwest to kill and hunt down Sky Titan. We need his soul. After this short conversation, we unlock a new tab on our inventory, Souls tab. There are 6 spaces and we need to hunt down 6 more bosses to turn back to our world. Before I go on to this big adventure, I wanted to be fully ready because I don't know how hard these boss battles are going to be. Also, I tried the pet mechanic and gathered some animals for ranching. Some animal resources will be necessary to craft better gear later on. I expand the base and made a farming area, put on some lights and electric doors. I will expand these areas when I need more space. After the walls are down, I started to explore as much area as possible to find and hoard every resource I might need later on. I like to be ready for big fights. First new ore I found is Scarlet. These are found in jungle biome of this world. Scarlet is also used for making drills and mechanic arms. So you can actually set up drill operations around the map on different ore nodes and get useful ores for crafting while you do your exploring, boss hunting or any other project you decided to work on. This game also has a logic and logistic mechanics like Minecraft's redstone. You can set up your drills on a node. These drills will get you ores but they just spit out the ore. For this, you can put conveyor belts around the drills and put a mechanic hand in the end of the belts so you can store your ores. While here, instead of putting raw ores into the chests, why don't you just put those into a smelter instead? This way, you won't have to wait for smelting because this contraption does it for you. Genius, I know. After automating ore gathering and smelting, I kept unlocking new biomes and new resources to craft better gear for myself. Next ore I found was Octarine. This ore was found in the ocean biome. There are also lots of different structures generated around the map, not just in this biome, but in all of them. In these structures, there are enemies and lots of loot to find. I was focused on collecting ores and crafting better gear at this point, so I didn't really explore much else. After finding an octarine node and setting up a mining operation here, I went back to base, smelted all the octarine I had, and crafted everything I could with it. You can even make boats in this game. I don't even know how many more mechanics and equipments I can unlock. This game is really loaded. After the octarine smelting and crafting is done, time for the next one, Galaxite. This ore is found in the desert biome, and this biome has the most dangerous mobs I have seen so far. These damn bugs killed me lots of times or just made me waste a lot of potions. They don't do much damage by themselves, but when you kill them, they explode and deal tons of damage. Being careful around them is highly advised. After mining loads of Galaxite and finding a node for my drills, I went back to base and started smelting them. After smelting is done, I created all the new armor and weapons. I still didn't hunt down the titans, I know, but I want to be super ready to face them. While exploring the desert, I came across the ice biome. With my new Galaxite pickaxe, I was able to mine around and find the next ore, Solarite. And as per usual, I mined as much as I can get my hands on. I couldn't find a node for my drills that time, but this is okay. Because after Solarite crafting, I want to focus on finding the titans and finally hunt them down. Our hunt for the titan souls begins now. First titan we need to defeat is Azios the Sky Titan. To locate all the titans and the optional bosses, we can craft the ancient hologram pod from Malugaz's statue. In the ancient pod, we can see that we are also able to create 3 different items other than boss locators. These are the large shiny glimmering object, expert lure, and the thumper. We will use these 3 to summon first 3 titans. We will need to do more crafting and unlocking recipes for the last 3. First 3 summoning items are fairly easy to craft, but the last 3 are real pain. So, with any boss from now on, to minimize grinding, being careful is highly advised. I crafted the Azios locator and the shiny object to summon it to fight. When we reach its nesting area, we can see it fly over our heads. I used the shiny object and the fight started immediately. Azios Titan isn't really hard to fight with. It summons lightning attacks that follow a straight line. You just need to dodge it. Pretty straightforward. It will occasionally summon crystals you need to destroy. These crystals charge with lightnings, and if not destroyed, they heal Azios. Fight isn't that hard, as I said. I was clearly over-prepared for this fight. After its defeat, we collect its soul and take our loot. It also gave us pile of Chum Idol. We can use this to summon fishing merchant in our base. He will come in handy when we need to craft the expert lure. After our victory, I made my way back to base and made a room for the fishing merchant. Our next target is Omoroth, the sea titan. We need to craft the lure to summon it. Fishing merchant is going to be useful here. Also, to craft baits, we can catch necessary bugs with the bug net. After crafting the lure, we also need some seashells to craft the locator. We can find the seashells on the ground in the ocean biome and collect it with our pickaxe. With a little bit of walking around in the ocean biome and collecting seashells, I came back to base and crafted the locator. Don't forget to bring your octarine fishing rod. Next stop, Omoroth boss fight. Upon reaching Omoroth's pond, I casted the fishing rod with the expert lure. This is how we summon Omoroth. This boss fight is also quite simple. I know that it sounds like all these bosses are simple, but it's going to change soon. I am just over prepared for this stage in my opinion. Omoroth attacks with small tornadoes and summons tentacles that strike when you get too close. I didn't craft the faster boat, but I was still able to easily dodge most of the tornadoes and avoid tentacles. I just hit it with my crossbow from distance. It doesn't have enough tricks to bring me down. After that easy battle, I grabbed its soul, picked up some basic loot and headed back to base to prepare for the next Titan. Our first target is Ra Akar, the Sand Titan. To craft the locator, we first need to find scarab wing covers. These can be found in the desert biome, and we collect them just like the seashells. After quite a bit of roaming in the desert and dodging all the hostile mobs, I collected enough and crafted the locator. We also need the Thumper to summon the Titan. This boss fight was my first challenging fight. I died 2 times and had to walk all the way back to its arena. It summons 6 triangle-shaped projectiles at you, and these projectiles follow you around. Like that's not annoying enough, it also summons bomb scarabs, those blowing beetles, at random parts of the arena. Now you need to dodge the following projectiles, suicide bomb beetles, and the boss itself. I approached this fight all wrong at first. I tried to put some walls in the edges of the arena, so I could maybe hide behind these walls to dodge the triangle projectiles. Worked with a bit of success, but the Titan smashes through and destroys the walls. Not good. I was used to keeping my distance from bosses, but with this one, getting up close made all the difference. I managed to beat it once I fought it in melee range. Finally defeated, I collected its soul and looted its chest. It drops a unique crafting item, Giant Bug Brain. This item is needed to craft a new crafting bench for the last 3 Titan summoning items. Also, some casual loot. After my glorious victory, I made my way back to the base and prepare for the next battle. Our last 3 bosses are the Hydras, Druidra, Krytra, and Prytra. To craft the locators for these Hydras, we need to craft the Hydra altar with the giant bug brain we obtained from previous boss. Crafting the locators are not hard at all. We already came across the materials we needed. But to summon these Hydras, we need organs, the instrument one. While I was recording this footage, these organs required gems to craft. Lucky for you, they are no longer needed, but I wasn't so lucky. Since I am too lazy and untalented with making mediocre YouTube videos. This footage you see belongs to the earlier version of the game, and I spent good amount of time trying to find these gems. Every death to any of these Hydras meant that I need to spend more time grinding and looking for these gems. I also started using explosives to mine because it was getting really boring. Also, dying to explosions in this game is really easy, as you can see. After so many deaths to explosions, I found all the necessary gems and I was able to craft all the organs. These 3 Hydras are all similar to fight. They got a shield, and when their shield is down, you do your damage. Second and third Hydras also summons the previous Hydras as ghosts to fight against you. Surprisingly, after a death or so, to the first Hydra that is, it wasn't really hard to deal with these guys. Yeah, the fights required a lot of attention and damn amount of good preparation, but still, feels good to be able to deal with these guys after all that painful gem search. After defeating all the Hydras, we are finally ready to face the final boss. We can make our way back to base and the Keeper will tell us where we need to go. Our final boss is the Core Commander. He is the hardest boss we're gonna face so far, and that puts a good final to this beautiful game. The Keeper tells us where we need to head out, and when we reach our destination, we come face to face with a meteor. Upon interacting with it, a short conversation happens and our battle begins. The commander has 3 orbs slowly rotating around him, and we need to destroy them before we can deal any damage to him. Commander has all the previous boss's attacks but amplified. His damage is crazy to me time to time, honestly. I was surprised to get one-tapped by those annoying triangle projectiles. His second phase starts when his health reaches 0. He has a new attack in this phase. With a striking sound, space around us becomes void, and there are only 3 safe and shrinking spaces around the orbs. We also need to dodge lightning attacks while trying to stay in the safe zone. After too many deaths, I decided to put a bed near the commander because it was too annoying to walk back here from the base at this point of the game. After all that pain and suffering, I finally defeated the commander. It was glorious. I'm finally done with boss hunting. Now we can go back, talk to the keeper, and get the end of the story. So, this is Core Keeper. I'm sorry I'm too lazy and not skilled enough to make a good video about this game, but if you are still watching at this point, I highly recommend playing this game. It was beautiful and really fun. I wasn't even able to discover most of the game mechanics, secrets, unlockables, optional bosses, and many more. You can also play this game with your friends. I honestly would love to make music with my friends in this game. Thank you for watching my video about Core Keeper. I will make videos better and faster. Have a good one.